students of Hebrew, and I want to welcome you again to our half-hour Hebrew class. And of course, today's class is Yehuchanan, John 14, verses 22 to 26. So let us now begin. And as I do each week, we see we've got the Nikud, our markings, and some useful resources which you will find invaluable. So we will begin now where we're up to, and it's verse 22, and we can see it's represented by a kaf, a value of 20, and a vayet or bayet value of 2. So we get 22, and we will now go through the actual vowels. The letters, and it is Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Vav, Yod, Hey, Vav, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Hey, Vav, Aleph, Lamed, Aleph, Aleph, Yod, Shin, Kuf, Resh, Yod, Yod, Vav, Tav, Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yod. And now if we look at the vowels, just for this first one, we will see we've got underneath it a ptak, which is a short A sound. Then we have a cholam above there for the vowel. And the yod is a dagesh, which usually tells us we have to read them separately, right? Then we have here the E sound, which is a segol, and then we have a zere, which is a little bit longer E sound. This is a kataf, which is kamat, which is a longer A sound. Another kamat. Then we have, this is like a U sound. All right, so we have to remember these sounds that they make. Again, there's a long A sound. If we just look at that, there's a U sound, an O sound, an I sound, an I sound, an O sound, a short A sound, an O sound, and an I sound. So that just helps us to remember the sounds we have to produce as we say them. So let us begin. Vayomer. Vayomer. Lev, which is, and he said to him. And it's now telling us who? Yehuda. Yehuda, which is translated often as Judas. The who and he, lo, meaning not, ish, the man, or the man of, Kariot, meaning, of course, the districts. It's not actually a place. Adoni, my master. Right. And as we can see, Judas or Yehuda, not the one Ishkariot, said to him, my master. And now we read it. Vayomer, Elev, Yehuda, v'hu lo Ish Keriot Adoni. And now we have a mem, hey, lamed, kaf, so fit. Kaf at the end of a word. Kaf, yod, tav, chet, pay because of the dot. Zade, so fit. Lamed, hey, tav, vav, dalet, ayin, aleph, lamed, yod, nun, vav. Vav, lamed, aleph, lamed, ayin, vav, lamed, and mem sofit. Remembering that when it's in white, it means it carries no sound with it. Same with the aleph there, the ayin there. So now let's read it. Ma, which could be what, right? And I've put it, what is it? L'ka, meaning to you. Ki, that. Tach pots, you do desire. And that comes from chafats, which is a kal verb, to desire, to want, to be interested in. And then we have lehit vada, to make yourself known. So how do we come up with that? And it helps here because it's called a hitpael, stem of yada, which means to make oneself known. It's causative action, to cause to make known, we could say. Or reflective voice, an action we do to ourselves. So therefore, to make yourself known. Eleinu, to us, because the nu, of course, is us. The lo, and not. La olam. The la mean to, olam is the world. So, my master from the previous verse. Why do you desire to make yourself known to us, but not to the world? Right, now let's read it. Ma, le, ka, ki, tach, pots, le, hit, vada, eleinu, velo, la, olam. Right. 23, represented with a kaf, value of 20, gimel, value of 3, because it's the third letter of the alphabet. And then we have vav, yod, ayin, nun sofit, nun at the end of a word, yod, hey, vav, shin, ayin, vav, yod, aleph, mem, resh, aleph, lamed, yod, vav, aleph, yod, shin, kaf, yod, yod, aleph, hey, vet, nun, yod, yod, shin, mem, and resh. And now let's read it. Vaya'an, and he answered. Now what is the root word? We see here it is ana. Ana. Ana is a kal verb to answer, to respond. So therefore the hey is dropped off the end. And these are prefixes telling you a completed action. And he answered. Yahushua, or Yahusha. Vayomer, and he said, Elev, unto him or to him, ish, a man, ki, that, because of course ki can mean that, because, for, so we'll just look at it as that. Ye'ehavani, ye'ehavani, meaning shall love me. Yishmor, he will or shall safeguard or keep. Therefore, we can see down there, hav is to love, to adore. That's the root. And then we say, Yeshua answered and said to him, if anyone loves me, he shall keep. Now let us read that. Vaya'an, Yahushua, Vayomer, Elev, Ish, Ki, Ye'ehavani, Yishmor. And now we have 23b, and we have an aleph, a tav, a dalet, a veit, a resh, a yod, a vav, and aleph, a veit, a yod, yod, aleph, hey, veit, aleph, tav, vav, vav, nun, veit, vav, aleph, hey, aleph, lamed, yod, vav, vav, nun, sin, because the dot's on that side, yod, and mem, safit. Et, grammar marker, divari, meaning my word. V'avi, and my father. Ye'ehav, shall love, because the yod tells us he shall, right? Oto, him. V'navo'ah, meaning and we come, or we shall come. because the hey is like directional, and vo means to come, and we to come, or we shall come, right? Elev, to him. V'nasim, and the na, or the nun, is we. It's a pronoun. As you can see, I've got it down here. Sam is a kol verb to put, to appoint, to place, to make. And the nun is the pronoun. And we place or put. He shall keep my word. My Father shall love him, and we make. And then we read it. Et dvari v'avi ye'ehav oto v'navoa elev v'nasim. Right, and finally part C. We got a shin, kaf, nun, vav. Aleph, zade, lamed, vav. And we begin. Sha, ka, nu. Now the dageshan there often can mean it's a doubling of the nun as well. In this case it is, because the root word is taken here, shakan. Shakan is a kol verb to dwell, to reside. And then we have nu, which means us. So one of the nun was dropped off. But it's sort of in there in the dagesh, because it's shakanu, sakanu. So you can sort of hear it, shakanu. And then we've got, and that means our dwelling, because the nu is our. And then we have etzlo, beside him. Now, etzel as a prep can mean by, beside, near, or with. Now you'll see here they often use with. And we make our habitation with him. With him, beside him, by him. Any of those are correct. So we read it. Shakanu et lo. And now we've got 24. We have a kaf for 20 and a dalet for 4, the fourth letter of the alphabet. Then we have a vav and a aleph, a shin, a resh, a lamed and a aleph, a yod and a aleph, a hey, vayet, nun, yod, hey, vav, aleph, lamed, aleph, yod, shin, mem, resh, aleph, tav, dalet, vayet, resh, yod, vav, hey, dalet, vayet, and resh. Now let's read it. Va'ashir, and who, because the shir can mean that, or who, because if it's relating to people, then it'd be who or whom. And who, lo, not, ye'ehavani, shall love me. Who, he, lo, not, yishmor, shall safeguard or shall keep. Et, grammar marker, divari, meaning my word. The ha-davar, and the word. Who does not love me shall not keep my word, and the word. Right, we're reading it now. Va-asher, lo, ye'ehavani. Who, lo, yishmor, et, divari, v'hadavar. Right, and we're in part B. We have an aleph, a shin, a resh, a shin, a mem, an ayin, a tav, a mem sofit, lamed, aleph, shin, lamed, yod, hey, vav, aleph, kaf, yod, aleph, mem sofit, shin, lamed, aleph, vayet, yod, aleph, shin, resh, shin, lamed, chet, nun, yod. Now we're reading it. Asher, that, shematem, you heard, or you have heard. Lo, not, sheli, not sheli. What is sheli? Belongs to me. Again, the yod at the end is me, so shall. If we look down here, shall as a preposition means belonging to, of, or made of, right? So it means connected to, right, or belonging to me, not belonging to me. And then who, it can mean he, but it can mean it as well. So not belongs to me, it. And then we have the conjunction, which is ki im. Together they normally mean but. They can be for if, but in this case it's always translated as but. And then again we have shel avi, meaning belonging again to my father, belongs to my father. Asher, who, shelachani. Now we can see shalach in there as a call verb to send or dispatch, right? Sent me, who sent me. And then the translation, and the word that you have heard is not of mine, but of the Father who sent me. Now let's read that. Asher, shematem, lo sheli, who, ki, im, shel, avi, asher, shelachani. And now we're turning to 25, represented with a kaf, 20, and a hey, value of 5, the 5th letter of the alphabet. Aleph, tav, aleph, lamed, hey, dalet, beit, resh, tav, yod, aleph, lamed, yod, kaf, mem, safit, beit, ayin, vav, dalet, hey, yod, vav, tav, yod, ayin, mem, kaf, mem, safit. Just testing your knowledge of the letters by doing it a bit quicker, right? So, et, grammar marker. Ele, these. Dibarti, I have spoken. Because dibar means to speak rather than devar, which means word. Aleikem, meaning unto you. Be'od, meaning it could mean in still or while still. So if we look down here, od is more or still or concurrently, and then the beit at the beginning means in or while. Therefore, while still is the best translation for ba'od. Heyoti, me being. Now, of course, the yod at the end means me or my. Right, and then the root is haya, which of course, or hayot, which is an intransitive verb meaning being or existing. So therefore, me being, or often translated as I am or I was. And then we got imakem, with you, because im in this case means with, and kem is you, and it means the plural of you. Right, and in the normal English, I have spoken these words to you while I am still with you. Or you could say while I was still with you, because the words were already spoken beforehand. Not just then, but also previously. So we could translate it either way, right? Right, now we're reading that one. Et ele dibarti elekem be'od heyoti imakem. And now we come to 26, which of course is represented with a kaf again, and a vav, which has a value of 6. And we have vav, hey, mem, lamed, yod, zadi sofit, resh, vav, chet, hey, kuf, dalet, shin, aleph, shin, resh, yod, shin, lamed, chet, aleph, vayet, yod, bayet, shin, mem, yod, hey, vav, aleph. Now let's read. The ha-melitz, the hamelitz, and the advocate. Now if we look down here, melitz as a noun is interceder, advocate. The Greek is G3875 and it's parakletos, one who pleads another's cause before a judge, therefore counsel of defense. Right, and then we have ruach. Ruach meaning spirit, the advocate, the spirit. Now, why I wanted to make a note here is that at the end of that word we have ach. And why that's important is the vowel is said before the consonant, but all other vowels are pronounced after the consonant. And that's an important rule to remember. And then we have ha-kodesh. And we know that means the Holy Spirit, in other words. The Spirit, the Holy. And then we have Asher. And because we're talking about the Spirit, whom yishlach. So it is he shall send. Because the yod is future, right? He shall send. Avi, my father. Bish, me. So the bet is in, the yod is my, and of course in the middle we've got Shem, which means name, in my name. So the root letters of the root word is Shem, meaning name. Who, he. Now the translation, but the advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father shall send in my name, he. Right, now let's read that. The ha-melitz, ruach, ha-kodesh, asher, yishlach, avi, bishmi. Who? And part B, we have a yod, lamed, mem, dalet, kaf, mem safit, aleph, tav, kaf, lamed, vav, yod, zion, kaf, yod, resh, kaf, mem safit, aleph, tav, kaf, lamed, aleph, shin, resh, hey, gimel, dalet, tav, yod, lamed, kaf, and mem safit. Now let's read it. Lamed kem. He shall teach you. Because lamed means to teach. And of course, kem is you, and this is future. Right? He shall teach you. Et grammar marker, kol, meaning all, mean everything, right? The yazkir kem, vayizkir kem, vayizkir kem. Now, what's the root? It is Zion, Kaf, Resh, right? So down here we have Zion, Kaf, Resh, Zakar. And it's a cold verb to remember or to recall. So they've translated and shall remind you. Or you could say bring to your remembrance. And he shall bring to your remembrance. He shall remind you. Et grammar marker. Kol all, asher that, he gad ti, I told. Now let's have a look. Higid is a verb to tell, to inform. So that I told lakem to you. And in the English, he shall teach you everything and remind you all that I said to you. Right, now let's read that. Lamed kem et kol the yazkir kem et kol ashir higadti lakem. Right, and now we're going to do our revision to see just what we recalled from that and see if we can actually read and translate. That's the key. Key is understanding what we're reading, not just about the reading of it, but actually knowing what we're reading. So we begin. First, we see we have a kaf, which has a value of 20, and a vayet, value of 2. We're in 22. Vayomer, and he said, Elev, unto him, Yehuda, that's Yehuda or Judas, the who and he, lo not, ish, a man or the man, Keriot, of Keriot, the suburbs. Adoni, my master. Now we look at the translation. And he said to him, Yehuda, and he not, the man of Keriot, my master. Ma leka, what is it to you? Ki, that, tach pot, that you desire, or that you're desiring, la hit vada, to cause yourself to be known. Eleinu, unto us. Velo, and not la olam, to the world. What is it to you that you do desire to make yourself known to us and not to the world? And then we have a kaf 20, gimel 3. We're in 23. Vaya'an, and he answered, and then who answered? Yahushua. Vayomer, and he said, Elev, to him, ish, a man, ki, that, ye'ehavani, that shall love me, yishmor, he shall keep, or he shall safeguard, is how I've translated it. And he answered Yahushua, and he said to him, a man that shall love me, he will safeguard. And then we have 23 part B, which is et devari, which is my word. The avi, and my father, ye'ehav, shall love, oto, him, the navoah, and we shall come. Elev, unto him, the nasim, and we put or place, or it can be make, and we make or place. And the translation is Grandmaka, my word, and my father shall love him, and we shall come to him, and we place, or we make, or place, right? And then we have Shakanu, and the Dagesh is a double, so it's we make, we had that, we place or make our dwelling. The nu is our, and Shakan is dwelling. Our dwelling, et lo, which means beside him or with him. Our dwelling beside him. And then we have a kaf, 20, dalet 4. Va'asher, and that lo not ye'ehavani, he shall, and not he shall, and who, we could say, and who not he shall love me, who, he, lo not yishmor, shall safeguard or keep, et, grammar marker, devari, my word, vaha, devar, and the word. And who not shall love me, he not shall safeguard, grammar marker, my word, and the word. and we're in part B, Asher, that Shemartim, you have heard, or you heard, Lo, not Shali, shall meaning belonging to me. Who could be it as well, because we're talking about the word. Ki im, but, these two sort of link together, but, shall belongs, Avi, my father, so belongs to my father. Asher, who, Shalachani, meaning sent, and Ni is me. That you heard not belongs to me, it, but belongs to my Father who sent me. And then we have Kaf 20, Hey 5. Et Grimamaka Ale, these. Dibarti, I've spoken. Alekem, unto you. Ba'od, while still, while still. He-yo-ti, I'm being, or I be, or me being. And then imakem, meaning with you. And the grammar marker, these I've spoken unto you while still me being, you could say, or I was, or I am, with you. And then we have a Kaf 20, Vav 6, 26. Vaha melitz, again, ha melitz, meaning the advocate. Ruach, the Spirit. Ha Kodesh, the Holy. Asher, that Yislach, he shall send. Avi, my Father. Bish, me, meaning in my, that's the yod, name. Who, he. And the advocate, the Spirit, the Holy, whom he shall send, my Father, in my name, he. And now we get 26b, and we go, Lamed Kem. He shall teach, Lamed, Kem, you. Et grammar marker, kol, all or everything, right? The Yaz Kir Kem. And cause to remember you, right? Cause you to remember. That's the best way. And cause you to remember. They normally translate and remind you. Et, grammar marker, kol, all, asher, that, higgadti, I said, I told, that's what it is, to tell, right? I told la kem, to you. And the translation, he shall teach you, grammar marker all, and shall remind you, grammar marker all, that I told to you. Very good. And of course, these are your vowels. Try to remember them. So let's look at the bottom line this time. Where we've got the dot next to the vav, it's called a shuruk. And always the vowel sound is the sound it makes. Shu, so it's an u sound. And same with the next one, kubutz. It's got the u sound, kubutz. And this is a kataf segol. It's a combination of shava and segol. So the sound, of course, is segol. So it's a short e sound. And this is called a hirik, hi. So that gives us the sound, the vowel sound, the I sound, hi. And this is kataf patak, pa, a short a sound, and it is kataf kamatz. So we can see the a is longer, kamatz. And finally, we also have the resources again, beithamashiach.com. Very useful in your practice. And then we have the Do It in Hebrew dictionary. And of course, let us now look at this line. We see lamed has a value of 30. Kaf has a value of 20. Yod has a value of 10. Tet has a value of 9. Chet has a value of 8. And Zayin has a value of 7. And as we come to the close of this lesson, I pray it is blessing you. It'll give you more understanding of the Hebrew, because the aim of it is that we begin to look deeper and we can read with understanding of the actual words rather than just relying on translations. And that's why we learn it, because when we go back to the Old Testament, we can get it in the original and we can remember the words and we can actually translate it ourselves. And it's such a blessing because we do believe it to be the Holy Tongue. So I want to thank you for joining us, and I want to wish you a Shavua Tov, a good 7 or a good week. Amen.